Today I have two shop vacs that have basically gotten destroyed when we took on the basement cleaning project. Just to recap on that one, Eddie and I just recently spent several hours at the new location dealing with a basement that had no dehumidifier on, as well as it had a situation with basically we have a situation with we need to regrate the exterior of the foundation to prevent moisture coming in. Previous owner did not do that, and therefore there's a damp spot or two down there, but because no dehumidifier and it was closed up, there's cobwebs for days, just dust. So we clogged these vacuums several times during that and had to impromptu like blow out the hoses and everything. But when I open these up, it's going to be a complete mess. So I ordered a replacement for the Craftsman and a replacement for the Shop-Vac branded Shop-Vac, the little 1 gallon. I think it's called the Micro. It's an awesome tool. All right, so we're going to open these up, and then very simple. I know sometimes people use Shop-Vacs, they'll purchase Shop-Vacs, and they will use them until they stop being functional, and they don't know what to do. These are very simple. In fact, I typically once a year, unless I take on a major project like the basement, I typically once a year completely clean it out and replace the filter. I may throughout the year pull the filter out and just like shake it out or whatnot. Because I'm in a new location and I'm doing a lot of deep cleaning, this is going to get some extra use, and we'll probably clean it more frequently. But typically I use them for cleaning the car, occasionally some light work in the basement, maintenance, not like a full-on what we just did. And that's really about it. So let's kind of open these up here. So just very simple. Most of these, they just snap off. Yeah. So the canister is actually pretty much empty already, because during that project last weekend, my son Eddie, who's a regular on the channel, dumped it out several times because it was just filling up and it was getting caught up in the filter. So these Craftsmans have the screw, and it's just a pull off. That's it, right? So what we'll do is these caps, they typically ship with a replacement when we open up the new filter. So what I also like to do is just clean it out a little bit. Now, I'm a little unusual, but I actually treat these like they're a vehicle, and we'll use auto detailer. The inside will never be perfect unless you took a hose or something to the inside, which I really don't do. But I just try to remove some of the light dust, and you can see it coming off. There's some hair in here. I don't know what that is. String. But really, I mean, most people don't do anything with these until they absolutely have to, and then they deal with it. They don't do anything else, they just replace the filter. They dump out the canister, replace the filter. I just try to give them a little love. But even if most people who don't go the extra few minutes with them, these things last forever. You actually have to like physically damage them for them to really stop working. Or maybe you clog them so bad that it overheats or something. So we're gonna put this to the side, and we'll come back to that. So a couple other things I like to do. Remove the attachments, including the hose. Alright, so get these off. Gotta make sure. Alright, so what I then do is These are just paper. You know, like I said, I typically get a year's worth of use out of them. And I pop them out once in a while when I dump the canister, and I just kind of tap them against the ground or whatever, or take like I have a small kind of whisk broom I use for my floor mats in the car. I just might wipe it. All right, so we got the hose ready. So what I like to do is first, the obvious. Again, most people don't do this. And because I do this once a year, it's not that bad. See, that's all cleaned out now. Alright. So we'll put this off camera in the sun. The attachments. Now, I apologize because it is a windy day today. I was going to say for whatever reason, but it's always windy here. Today just exceptionally windy. So, take the hose, I go to the reverse, right? So like the end that you would be holding in your hand. Try to get the outside. Again, this is not hard work, but it's just taking a minute or two. I can't tell if it's clogged here or not, or it's the water just bleeding down the outside of the hose. That's what I ton of cobwebs, and they were like, what they were doing was they were binding up in there and basically creating a net and capturing all the dust and clogging it, right? So I put this over the railing. Because we have direct sunlight, this stuff will dry quickly. And I guess these are washed out, so we'll let these dry. Then now we will handle the little one. Let me make sure you can see it. Let me just move in the camera with it. Now this one is newer to me. I've only had it a few months, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a Shop-Vac brand, which I've owned Shop-Vac brand before. So this has your element in here, which enables it to do wet. I'm surprised that's actually on there. bag is full. So this bag just folds around. And like the other, so we'll set this aside. This actually, I always thought these elements are only meant for when you're doing wet vacuuming. Like you remove the bag and just put this on. But it looks like it's been there. I haven't owned this since new, so I'm just gonna leave it that way because it seems to function pretty well. Maybe in the comments, one of you guys could let me know if that's supposed to remain on there or not and only be used with removal of the paper bag. You put the foam element on for actually doing wet vacuuming. That's what I thought anyway. I guess in the other one, the bigger one, I wouldn't know how to, I guess there's a difference, a wet dry vac versus a Shop-Vac. I guess the 6 gallon is a Shop-Vac or a dry vac, because I would imagine you would destroy that paper filter in a second, vacuuming up water. What I like about this, if you're buying a small little guy like this, 1 gallon, if you're buying a small one like this, it's actually weighted for whatever the way it's constructed, it's weighted at the bottom. I know someone who has a 1 gallon Craftsman branded one. It looks like a miniature one of the big one. And I borrowed it one time to vacuum my car when I was staying in a different location. And every time I went to move the hose, it just tipped over because it was top heavy. And then you have to turn it off so it settles and you turn it back on. This does not tip. It's weighted at the bottom. So sometimes when I pulled on the hose and it goes to move, it just stays right side up. So tip if you're looking for a little one, maybe consider the Shop-Vac Micro because its center of gravity keeps it upright. Okay, so let's do the same thing with letting this dry. And let's blast this hose. Hopefully you can see me. If not, this is not overly exciting. I can see the dust and the cobwebs. Not much there to say. Pretty much got that taken care of. Okay, now from experience, these things don't have to be totally dry when you put them back together. I mean, they are designed to be a bit rugged. Let's make sure you can see me in the camera. Yeah. So there's just some loose water. Really anything, it's just beads of water. It's not even water. Just wiping it out. Alright. So we got that. Now, let's open up. Very, very easy. Amazon or anywhere else, you can get replacement. Come with the cap, as I said. I like to order a 2-pack, mainly being I probably won't replace this again until next year. So it's just nice when you order 2, you save a couple dollars, and then when next year comes around, I don't have to think about ordering it. I just know I got it. Of course, you could just order 1 and then reorder it after you put it in, but that would be too easy. Okay, so now we're going to get the actual vacuum part. And yes, I know it's still dirty, but we're going to address that in a second. Really easy. Just right, not rocket science. Just gotta line it up, screw the cap on. Now, you have to watch, and I think they improved the design. It used to sometimes fall off inside the canister. Also the red line here, I think that is just to say like, hey, we're still good to go. Red line disappears, replace it, okay? Now, when you put the cap back on, this is the exhaust, right? Or if you want to put the hose on so you can blow air out, use it as a blower, or if you ever clog the hose, you can take it outside, put it on this end and just blow out whatever you clogged it with. But what I like to do is make sure that the cord is the opposite end of the hose, because it just snaps in. Because otherwise it's annoying. You're fighting the cord and the hose. You're going in two different directions, right? So just want to grab my rag. Just do that. Now, I said, oh, the rest of it's a little dirty. This is where the car detailer comes back in. Yes, a little OCD. You don't need to do this, but what I like about the car detailer, it takes the dust that has kind of worked its way into some of the cracks right out. And because I keep it around vehicles, I have it on hand. I wouldn't go buy a car detailer just for my vacuum. That's a little crazy. And I'm not looking for perfection, I'm just looking to clean it. And it's nice when you bring it clean. You have to use it indoors versus the garage or something. It's nice to bring it in and it's clean, it's not disgusting. Let's grab that hose. This is a little damp, but actually the inside of it's dry. It's because it's direct sunlight and it's black, so it's just frying this thing. Okay. Just line it up. There we go. They do make aftermarket longer hoses for these. I've seen folks do that, and I've toyed with the idea of, instead of having to wheel this out of the garage, vacuum my car, just getting a longer hose like the car wash and just like use it. You know, you can use it in the garage, you know. Maybe I'll do that one day. So here's our attachments. I just kind of, I don't go crazy with these, I just, because there's enough detailer on here. It's funny, I know somebody in the family who had, they actually got this from me as a gift over 10 years ago at this point probably, and they had the same one. They might have, I don't know if they bought theirs at the same time or what the deal was, but maybe a couple years later they saw mine and they're like, do you even use it? I was like, yeah, why? I use it all the time. I said, because it looks brand new, it looks like you don't even use it. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, yeah, you know, I hose it out now and again. And then I happened to, you know, not that I was not over their house regularly, but I happened to like kind of be on the lookout for it. I saw it was destroyed. I opened up the inside. It was just like filled to the top. The filter had fallen in, so it wasn't attached anymore. And so I couldn't let it alone. I took it. I had a second filter. I gave it to servicing, and then I found I was doing it once a year for a while. I haven't done it in a number of years now, but you know, again, some people think that this is a major pain to do, but like I likely will not have to buy a Shop-Vac again unless someone like breaks this or something by, like, you know, dropping it or falling out of the car or something like that. But all right, I think that's going to be a wrap on this vacuum. So we'll quickly put the other one together to get the idea. I would even replace this cord if it needed it. Like I wouldn't, like that wouldn't be the end of it for me. Actually, speaking of cord, I forgot to do one thing I also like to do. Just to go like that with the cord. And because I'm working in direct sunlight, everything is so like pliable. This cord, especially. This one's done, ready for service. Now let's take care of the little guy. I don't know how old this is. Again, I kind of inherited it this winter, spring, whatever, and the bag was pretty empty. It looked like it could have been the original bag, I don't know. So there turned out to be an extra one, and they said, "Here, you can take it." So I said, "Okay." I feel like when you have a household, let alone multiple households, there's certain things that it doesn't hurt to have multiples of. In this case, a Shop-Vac bag. What I'll do with these extra bags is I will keep them in the box with the other filter from the other machine. So this way, they're all in one spot. Now, this is the first time I've changed the bag on this. So let me do it together. So the concept is it wraps around the bottom here. We get grass in here, and this. Okay, so this tab here slides in a groove. I hope you can see me. I apologize if not. So it slides. Just make sure I'm on camera. It slides right in, just slides right down. Very simple, and it lines up with the hose. Hose pushes through. And then again, I like to have the electrical cord reverse of the hose, so you're not fighting the cord and the hose. So we'll plug this in, just twist and grabs on, it's in, and then we will give it the Ed detail duty here, or shine. Hose is still a little wet. It's wetter than the other one on the outside. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. All right, there you have it. So, the Micro by Shop-Vac, I recommend it if you need a small one. Cord wraps around the top. It's light enough where it's interesting. This one has a grounded plug, the other one does not. It's light enough where you can hold it and use it. And there you have it. Craftsman 6-gallon Shop-Vac, along with the, I don't know if by saying Shop-Vac it's like saying Kleenex when you know I mean tissue. Craftsman 6-gallon heavy duty vacuum cleaner, dry vac, I guess. And then you have the 1 gallon Micro by Shop-Vac. All right, well, thanks for watching. Just a little bit of, not even elbow grease, just a little bit of maintenance keeps these things going. We got clean filters, we're ready to rock. And if you haven't already, love it when you subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you next time.